evening, Tallahassee. Welcome to Monday edition of FSU Weather. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I'm student meteorologist David Stoltz, and with me is...
I am student meteorologist Christian Palacio.
How about the temperature changes over the past 24 hours, Christian? That is crazy.
Yes, it's been a big difference the past few days. How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was really good. I spent it in South Florida, West Palm Beach, and it was cooler than normal for the weather down there, but it was pleasant. I had a great time with family. How about you?
Oh, as did I. I actually spent my time in South Florida, and you know, it's a little bit warmer than I would have liked personally, but you know, now that we're back here, we really do get to enjoy some of that coolness that, you know, it's almost winter time. Come on.
Yes, and I think we're going to get a taste of winter over the next 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like the temperature actually tonight is going to get below freezing here in Tallahassee.
Oh, yes. We are going to be heading into the upper 20s, which to me, it feels like kind of early on for, well, we're late into fall, but almost into winter. But it's going to be, for those of us that are not used to the cold weather, it's going to be very chilly, and I recommend if you're going to go walking outside, bundle up because you are going to feel it.
Absolutely. If you're going to take that dog for a walk tomorrow morning, you're going to need a winter jacket, especially earlier in the morning when the temperatures are close to freezing and stuff. And we're going to talk about that and some other things, but the main story is that cold weather. And we're going to pass things off to Christian at the wall, who's going to give us an overview of what's going on tonight in FSU Weather.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, let's take a quick look at what we have for you this evening. So first, as we can see behind me is going to be some partly cloudy skies. We have 50 degrees and winds coming from the west at 8 miles per hour. Now, when you look at the satellite and radar, it doesn't look like much is happening, but clearly it was a little bit clearer earlier today. And then we had some clouds coming in, and we're going to talk about a little bit later, but there is a low that's actually hanging around up here in the mid-Atlantic. It's a little more apparent with the cold front that is actually passing through South Florida right now. And nationally speaking, well, there's a high over here, very dry conditions all throughout the majority of the country. It's going to be some wet conditions here as that low is hitting the northeast mid-Atlantic. And for tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be 52 degrees with some clear skies. So what do we got for you this evening? Cold temperatures are here, rain coming later this week, and we're going to look at some fun clouds for you guys. So stick around. What do we got, David?
We're going to take a look at the national picture to start things off, and look at these cold temperatures up here in the northern regions of the United States. I mean, talking Minneapolis, 26 degrees currently. In Chicago, the Windy City, it is 30 degrees. And in Detroit, it is 33 degrees. And look at this cold air is making its way into the southeast. And we're going to get in on it here in Tallahassee tonight with lows in the upper 20s for the Big Bend area. And one of the mild spots of the country is Miami at 75. And if we look over here at out west, you see California, 66, 61 as you get up into San Francisco area. And this cold weather is pretty much starting to dominate the country across the map as we see. And here are the dew points. And to go along with that cold weather, here are the dew points showing 18 in Bismarck, 15 in Kansas City. We're going down here to the Gulf Coast, New Orleans with a dew point of 26. This is some very dry, cool air making its way into the southeast. One of the only places I see on the map is 72 dew point in Miami, where the humidity and the dew points are still on the muggy side. And these winds are coming out of the northwest briskly, ushering in this colder Canadian air into the southeast. You see a wind at 12 miles per hour northwest of New Orleans. And here in Tallahassee, 13 mile per hour wind out of the northwest. And these winds are going to, like I said, usher that colder and drier air. And here on the water vapor map, you can see that this brown color here, right here, this is very dry air making its way into the southeast, and the temperature is going to fall very quickly with clear skies and low dew points. And we've got some moisture associated with the low pressure system in the northeast, which will push off into the Atlantic eventually and also usher in colder, drier air for them as well. But before that happens, there is some mixed precipitation in the Appalachian chain here in the Ohio Valley, making its way down in the Tennessee Valley in the upper elevations. I won't be surprised if there's some snow accumulation above 5,000 feet in some of the mountain ranges in the Appalachians. And up here in the Northeast, they did have a slight chance of severe weather, but that is going to diminish as storm moves off the coast. And look at the rest of the country. high pressure is just dominating out here in the middle section out west, making for really great weather, but it is on the cold side. I'm going to zoom in here to the northeast and see the line of showers and storms making their way off the coast. But these individual storms are moving to the north and northeast, and we did have a severe, there was a slight chance of severe weather here in New Jersey. Once this line moves through, that will diminish. And drought monitors still very, very dry out west, and they are still contending with fires out there. And as far as tonight, it's going to be cold across most of the country, and even in the southeast, like I was saying, 28 here in Tallahassee, out west. Still, look at this, all cool weather. Winter has made its entrance into the country. As for tomorrow's highs, they look kind of like lows in some places. We have a high of 49 here in Memphis and New Orleans, 56. And the warm spot in the country, there's actually two of them, Miami at 67, and out west here in Los Angeles at 72. I'm going to pass things off now to Christian, who's going to take a look at the local weather?
Yes, we are looking at the local weather, so finally we can take a more in-depth look of our local forecast. So we still have cloudy conditions at 50 degrees, and we have winds coming from the west. And when you look here, it looks kind of clear at first. You see this haze here. That's depictions of our partly cloudy to cloudy overcast skies. And when we look at the rest of the country, that high is really dominating over here out west in the middle, as David said earlier. And this low, well, there's two cold fronts actually that's passing through Florida right now. This cold front right down here, it was actually hitting us, I would say, overnight hours last night, and we have this one that's going to hit us again. So that's what's causing us to have these nice temperature dips. Currently we have 50 degrees in Tallahassee, 48 in Thomasville and Bainbridge, as well as Quincy, all cloudy conditions throughout our region. And as we look for our dew points, nice and dry, 39 degrees in Tallahassee, Quincy, and Bainbridge, 37 in Thomasville and Valdosta, 40 degrees, which is very nice. We got some wind speeds coming out from primarily northwest westerly winds, 8 miles per hour in Tallahassee, 17 in Monticello, a little bit faster, 12 in Quincy, and 10 in Wilma. And so tonight's forecast, it's going to clear up as that front is passing through. But like I said, when we opened up for the show, it is going to be very cold. 28 degrees for Tallahassee, Monticello, 27 Thomasville, Valdosta, Quincy. Not much of a difference in temperature gradient, but when you look down here in St. Mark's and Apalachicola, it's slightly a bit warmer for that along the coast. And so tomorrow's forecast, it's still going to be very nice and clear. Very cool day, but nice and sunny, 50 degrees for Monticello, 52 in Tallahassee, Quincy, and Bainbridge. And now we're going to be passing things off into our next desk discussion.
Yes, we're going to talk about freeze watches and warnings, as tonight we are under a freeze warning tonight for Leon County, which is where Tallahassee is located. And tomorrow night we are under a freeze watch. So Christian, what is the difference between a freeze watch and a warning?
Well, a freeze watch is, we got some favorable conditions for freezing conditions. Yeah, it could possibly happen. It's something to be on the lookout for. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but a warning is definitely apparent, and it could happen within a period of time. And how much period of time would that be, David?
Well, I was just reading up on it. A watch is issued 24 to 36 hours prior to the possibility of a freeze occurring, where a freeze warning is given because there is going to be widespread temperatures below freezing for a very large area, and so that is issued within about 12 hours of occurring. But if it's known ahead of time, usually they'll put out a freeze warning before that. I believe temperatures have to be below freezing for about 4 to 6 hours, I believe.
Yes, and as we can see for tonight's forecast into the wee hours of the morning, obviously upper 20s, even the low 30s. That's what we mean when we say be careful, because those freeze warnings and watches you have to take very seriously.
Right, and some precautions that you want to take is to bring your pets in. Dogs and cats usually are not really used to this type of low temperatures, and also plants. outdoor plants that are sensitive to colder temperatures should be brought in because they can die during that period of when the temperatures are under freezing.
Yes, of course. And when we have certain kinds of plants, they thrive better in places like South Florida because, well, let's face it, the winters down there are very mild, and a lot of people love the warm weather. Of course, it's fun to have a fair share of warm weather. But, but yes, please take it very seriously. We don't want anybody to have frostbite or hypothermia. Very serious stuff.
Yes, definitely take those precautions tonight. And now we're going to go back to the wall where Christian is going to talk about the national picture.
Yes, and so for the majority of the country, it's getting very nice and cold. You can see over here out Midwest, 30 degrees in Chicago, down here in New Orleans, 52, and just all throughout the area, it's 30s, 40s, 50s, and then of course you have some exceptions. California, 61 in San Francisco, 66 in Los Angeles, and of course in Miami, 75 degrees. Now, the majority of the country is quite fairly dry. The high right over here is mainly responsible for the Rocky Mountains region, but the dew point temperature for Salt Lake City, 22 degrees. 14 in Denver, my goodness, 3 degrees up here in Billings, Montana. And it's we got some moisture coming in over here in northeast, 56 degrees in Washington, D.C., 54 in Boston, and down here in central Florida, we got some moisture, 72 degrees in Miami. And so when we look at our wind speeds and direction, we know that the low is passing by here because the winds are forming a cyclonic look. And so Washington, D.C. have some southwesterly winds. Washington, D.C. is 7 miles per hour. Over here in Boston, northwesterly winds at 17 miles per hour. And over here around Salt Lake City, Denver, Albuquerque, you can see it's more of an anticyclonic look thanks to that high. 5 miles per hour, Salt Lake City, 6 in Denver, and 4 in Albuquerque. And when we look at our upper level water vapor, most of the country, like I said, is very dry. There's a little bit of moisture up here hitting Montana, but majority of the moisture is taking place along the coast of New Jersey, New York, the New England states, and down here in the tip of South Florida. And as I said before, this is a typical low. Well, that has cold fronts. This has 2 actually, and you can clearly see a defined all that precipitation that is just ahead of the cold front, and that is causing temperatures to cool down for us in Florida. And over here, oh, this is a warm front that is about to hit the northeast, and well, that explains all of our showers going on up there. As we look closer, there is actually currently a tornado watch all along southern New Jersey, Delaware, and a little bit into Maryland. And as we look over here, the drought monitor is just awful. It's never ending. Majority of Arizona has some exceptional drought. And I understand we had some rain going on over in California that helped a little bit, but it's not enough. It's not going to extinguish the fire completely. We have some winter storm warnings right here along Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York. That's some lake effect snow, perhaps. And over here in Kansas and Oklahoma, we got some winter storm watches. As we look into the rest of the country, it's going to be nice and windy over in Denver and Albuquerque, 19 degrees. All along, it's going to be mainly 19s, the 10s and the 20s in most of the country. And as we look into tomorrow, still fairly cold, 39 degrees in Minneapolis and Salt Lake City. And over here in Florida, 52 degrees for us in Tallahassee, 67 in Miami. So David, what are we going to be discussing next?
We're going to zoom in on the southeast and look at these cold temperatures moving into the area. Currently in Little Rock, it is 44 degrees, and here in Montgomery, Alabama, 42. Atlanta, you're at 37. You're creeping down, I should say, on that freezing mark tonight. And Tallahassee, currently 50 degrees. And the warm spot in the southeast, of course, is Miami at 75 degrees. And the dew points, look at this dry air that has moved into the southeast. It's just moved in, and it's going to be here for quite a few days now, and this means that the temperatures can drop at night down into close to the dew point temperature, allows the temperature to drop down close to these temperatures. And so when you have this dry air movement, it allows, especially during the time of the season that we're at now, winter temperatures are going to drop down into the freezing mark tonight. In Tampa, however, you're not going to make it to the freezing part. You currently have that dew point at 54, so your temperature's not going to go much below that. In Miami, at 72. And the winds are brisk out of the northwest, ushering in that colder air into the southeast, 16 miles per hour in Montgomery out of the northwest, and 13 here in Jackson and Tallahassee, 13. This is going to usher in that colder air tonight, and the temperatures are going to drop like a rock tonight here in Tallahassee. And it's all because of this cold front that is currently moving through the area. Now, we had the first cold front come through yesterday, last night I should say, and they have this secondary cold front coming in that's going to reinforce the cold air that is already here. And look at the dry air moving in on our water vapor imagery. Things are going to be very cold tonight, and the only water vapor we find is associated with that first cold front that is down over South Florida. Over the next 24 hours, any clouds that we did see today are going to clear out. Tomorrow's going to be sunny and absolutely beautiful. And tonight's forecast lows for the southeast, pretty much anywhere from the mid to upper 20s over most of the region. And as you get until you get down into South Florida, where you'll find mid 40s and close to 50. Tomorrow, temperatures kind of look like lows that we would see in the fall, but these are actual highs. 55 in Jackson, Montgomery at 50, Tallahassee 52, and the warm spot, the winter, ding, 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 Miami at 67 degrees. I'm going to pass things off now to Christian, who's going to talk about the local weather again.
Yes. We are looking to look at that. The lights came on finally in the city, a lot darker. It's only 6:18. Can you believe that? Well, temperatures are still hovering around 50 degrees and still very cloudy conditions. And the clouds are coming in right now, but as David said, it's going to start clearing out as we enter into tomorrow. And when we look up here, there's actually some snow, some mixed precipitation between rain and snow along the mountains, the Appalachian Mountains, and the moisture, it's hitting South Florida right now. Not so much for us anymore. But when you look over here, the high is dominating the Rocky Mountains out west, keeping the conditions dry. And the second cold front is bound to hit us right now. But that first cold front is really the main cause of what's dropping our temperatures. So for the forecast is 50 degrees in Tallahassee, 48 in Quincy, Bainbridge, and Thomasville. And we have all cloudy conditions. And our dew points are feeling very nice, 39 degrees in Tallahassee, Quincy, and Bainbridge. And there's not much of a dew point change in our viewing area. And as we go into tomorrow, it is going to clear out. It's going to be very nice. We have no clouds that will be in sight. And we look into tonight's forecast, dropping really cold temperatures. 28 degrees in Tallahassee and Monticello, 27 in Valdosta, Thomasville, and Quincy. It's going to warm up a little bit along the coast, St. Mark's and Apalachicola with 34 degrees. And as we look into tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be nice and sunny, very clear, 52 degrees in Tallahassee, Quincy, and Bainbridge. I personally consider it nice and chilly, but some people already consider this very cold. So in the next 7 days, it's going to be 58 degrees tomorrow for a high, 37 and low. And it's going to warm up a little bit on Thursday, 50 degrees and a high of 66. But as we get into the weekend, it's going to still be kind of chilly, but perhaps it'll warm up during the day.
Absolutely beautiful weather though during the day. Just maybe wear a jacket and to be able to just get out and enjoy this beautiful weather. We're going to turn now to talking about cumulus clouds and the different types of cumulus clouds. They are categorized by the height at which they form and also what shape they take. And so we're going to start off with cirrocumulus clouds. They're tiny puffy cotton balls that you usually see on a very cold day. Usually it signifies a fair cold weather day, and they also can be found ahead of a storm system if they come in more of a uniform, lots of them, I guess you could say, see lots of them across the sky. Your sunshine may be limited because there's a storm on the way. And the next cumulus cloud we're going to talk about is Cumulonimbus, and everybody knows what this storm is. This is a thunderstorm cloud. Yes, it is, and it is a rainmaker, and it's also found, you can identify it by the anvil-shaped cloud at the top which occurs because the vertical motion that pushes the builds the cloud, hits the tropopause, and flattens out. But sometimes we have an overshooting cumulonimbus cloud right here, which you can see is shooting up into the stratosphere there, and it has you mostly have a flat top, and you see a lot of those cumulonimbus clouds during the summer. If you live anywhere in Florida, you know what they look like. And the next cloud is a humulus cloud, which is also called the fair weather cloud, that is associated with fair weather and stable atmosphere. And our next cloud is a cumulus congestus cloud, which is the cloud that forms into a cumulonimbus cloud eventually. But these clouds are also bring rain, and they're very vertical in form, as you can see. And these are also associated with what we call heat lightning, which you usually see at night. And the cloud lightning that is associated with these clouds when the sun goes down. It's not associated with heat, but it's called them heat lightning. Our next cloud is the Cumulus Castellanos cloud, which kind of looks like a tower that you'd see at a castle. It has that spire that at the top of it, so it looks like a tower. And I think this is our last cumulus cloud we're going to talk about. So now I'm going to pass things off to Christian to talk more about, I have no idea, man.
Well, Florida. We're going to take a general look about Florida. And, well, for us here in the north, it's very nice. I mean, 49 degrees in Pensacola, 57 in Gainesville, and 50 in Tallahassee. Come on. But you see that it drastically warms up. Orlando, 63 degrees. And Miami is still facing those rains the rain showers that's passing through now, 74 degrees. And all our dew point, it's still fairly dry. We are just at the tip of the rest of the country that is nice and dry. 39 degrees in Tallahassee, 47 in Gainesville, and it starts to see that moisture pick up a little bit as you head into central Florida, and much more humid in South Florida, 70 degrees in Miami. And now, when you look at this is the second cold front is the reason why we are already cold, but it is going to be touching the rest of Florida, and it's we have another cold front, believe it or not, and that's going to be kind of like the icing on the cake of why it's going to be so much colder for us this evening. And well, we look closer to South Florida. Like I said, that rain band of the first cold front that passed us is already finishing its touches for South Florida. All that rain is passing by, and it will eventually be gone within a matter of hours. It's a little bit clearer up here now. This part of Florida is going to start seeing some clouds, just as we are right now. But it's going to clear out, thankfully, within the next 24 hours. So even further out west, it is clearing up a little bit. Sometimes they have some chances of seeing those partly cloudy skies, but it's still going to clear out. And now for our future cast, for the rest of the southeast, it's going to be looking nice and clear. There's not going to be much of clouds to talk about. So what do we know about Miami? It's very nice and warm. But Tuesday, 67 degrees clear, 75 degrees on Wednesday, and Thursday, 76 degrees. So very warm. And Tampa, 58 degrees, 66, and 74 for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And they're also going to be clearing up, like I said. And we're going to look into Orlando, 56 degrees, clear skies, 64, and 73 with some cloudy skies. And Jacksonville, it's going to be 53 degrees, very clear, 58 and 68 the next couple of days. Pensacola, same thing, clear skies. It's going to be very cloudy on Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to have some thunderstorms. Tonight's forecast, it's going to be in the 30s for much of North Florida. And then as you get into Southwest Florida, it's going to be in its 40s, and Southeast Florida, it's going to be in 50 degrees in West Palm Beach and Miami. And we look into tomorrow's forecast, the entire state is going to be nice and clear. Big change, 56 degrees in Orlando, 65 in West Palm Beach, and 52 degrees in Gainesville and Tallahassee. And now, I believe David's going to be talking about our local segment again.
Yeah, we're going to take one more look at our local weather and what's going on here in Tallahassee. Live look from Doak Campbell Stadium. The sun has set, and you see these clouds up here. These are going to clear out as the evening progresses, and currently it is 50 degrees here in Tallahassee under cloudy skies. But like I said, that clouds will clear out, and currently have winds out of the west at 8 miles per hour. And you can see some of these clouds still lingering around. They will move out of the area as the winds out of the northwest will just kind of push. You see some showers up here in the northern part, up here in Alabama and western Georgia. Those showers probably not even hitting the ground, but all those cloud cover is going to move out of the area. As far as Florida goes, we do have some shower activity down here in Miami associated with the leading edge of that cold front. That is going to push off the coast, and it will clear out for an absolutely beautiful day across Florida. Plenty of sun tomorrow. Temperatures will be on the cool side, but just maybe a light jacket will do you well if you're out in the sun. And you see some mixed precipitation, maybe some snow, upper elevations of the Appalachian chain there. And around the Big Bend area, temperatures are currently on the cool side, very cool. 46 here in Thomasville, 48 in Bainbridge and in Tallahassee, 50 degrees. And even along the coast down here in Apalachicola, it is 50 degrees, and these are the dew points. On the low side, very comfortable, but unfortunately we got some cold air mass over us, which is going to make you want to bundle up and turn the heat on tonight. And reason why, temperatures are going to be in the upper 20s tonight, 28 here in Tallahassee, 26 in Bainbridge, and even along the coast at St. Mark's, 34 degrees. We're under a freeze warning, so remember to bring those plants in and pets. Tomorrow's forecast, expect to highs in the low 50s over most of the area, so you're going to need a jacket. And 7-day forecast is going to be on the cool side for a couple days. We'll go have a warm spell up into the weekend. We will have another cold front come through Saturday night, dropping our temperatures just a tad at night, but not as cold as they are tonight. This has been FSU Weather, and I'm going to pass things off to the desk now with Christian and myself. Let me get over there to the
Yes,
desk.
thank you so much, David. It's been a very interesting few days as, well, there was some thunderstorms. To me, it was really loud at 2 o'clock in the morning. I haven't heard of thunderstorms in a while, which is weird because I'm a fellow South Floridian. But, you know, it's really nice. I'm excited about this cold weather, and it just kind of brings the spirit of you're just finishing up Thanksgiving, and we're heading into the rest of the holiday season. Semester is almost up. I know I'm already in break mode.
Oh, me too, definitely.
Wow.
So, yeah, we just got these cold temperatures. If you love winter, we're getting a taste of it now, and so it's going to be sunny for the next couple of days, just on the cool side, maybe a light jacket and everything. But get out in the park and then enjoy this weather. Yes, see sunshine tomorrow, and Wednesday, some more sunshine. Clouds do pick up a little bit as we get closer to Thursday and Friday as we have another front approach, but it doesn't look like there's any rain, really any high rain chances in the forecast. 20% looks like to be the maximum chance of rain this weekend. So don't forget to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/FSU Weather.
And also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And don't forget to watch us live on YouTube, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m., youtube.com/FSU Weather.
And we love to see pictures that you send to us, and we will gladly post them on our Instagram page, FSU Weather. And
so I hope you enjoyed our show tonight. I'm student meteorologist David Stoltz.
And I am student meteorologist Christian Palacio. Have a great evening.